Welcome to Nobichin CTV, your ultimate source for marine wonders and the incredible stories behind the ocean's most fascinating creatures. Today, we're diving into one of the ocean's most prized possessions, lobsters. But not just any lobster story. We're exploring the journey of lobsters from their homes on the ocean floor to becoming a delectable dish on your plate. Lobsters have long been celebrated in culinary traditions around the world. From the fine dining tables of New York to the coastal seafood shacks in Maine, they're rich. Sweetmeat is considered a luxury, but did you know that the journey from sea to table is filled with history, culture, and a complex process that brings this oceanic treasure into the hands of chefs and food lovers alike? In this video, we'll explore the fascinating journey of lobsters as they go from the ocean to the plate, delving into everything from lobster fishing practices to their preparation in the kitchen. Whether you're a seafood lover or a culinary enthusiast, get ready to discover why lobsters are not just a meal, they're an experience. To truly understand the journey of a lobster, we first need to dive deep into the world it calls home, the vast and mysterious ocean. Here, amidst the underwater caverns and rocky seascapes, lobsters embark on an incredible journey of their own. These creatures, with their hard exoskeletons and formidable claws, are master survivors in the ocean's ever-changing landscape. The American lobster, Homarus americanus, is one of the most iconic and sought-after marine species in the world. Found along the North Atlantic coastline, from the cold waters of Canada to the shores of Maine, lobsters spend most of their lives hiding in the nooks and crannies of the ocean floor. They thrive in deep, rocky areas, where they can find shelter from predators and the powerful ocean currents that crash against the shore. Lobsters are nocturnal creatures, coming out at night to forage for food. Their diet is as diverse as their environment. They scavenge for mollusks, crabs, sea urchins, and even small fish. With their powerful claws, lobsters can crack open hard-shelled prey, revealing the tender meat inside. This makes them not just skilled hunters, but also essential participants in the marine ecosystem, helping to keep the ocean floor clean. While lobsters are known for their ability to adapt to their environment, they are also incredibly vulnerable. They molt, shedding their exoskeleton in a process called ectosis. This vulnerable stage leaves them soft and defenseless until their new shell hardens. During this time, lobsters are more susceptible to predators, like fish and larger marine animals. But it's not just the journey through the ocean floor that makes lobsters so fascinating, it's their instinct to travel far and wide. Lobsters can migrate long distances, often making the trek from deep waters near the shore to areas with richer feeding grounds. This migration is essential for their survival, ensuring they have access to the food and shelter needed to grow and thrive. As the seasons change and temperatures shift, lobsters move with the ocean's rhythm. In colder months, they tend to stay closer to the deeper, warmer waters, while in the summer, they often venture closer to shore, where food is abundant. This seasonal movement makes them highly adaptable, but it also exposes them to the dangers of overfishing and environmental changes. Once the lobsters are caught, they're carefully transported from the sea to port. The journey from the ocean to the market is crucial to maintaining the freshness and quality of the lobsters. After being hauled aboard the fishing boat, lobsters are placed in live tanks, often filled with cool, oxygenated water to keep them alive and healthy during transport. The quality of the lobsters is carefully monitored, as the time between capture and delivery is key to preserving the sweet, delicate flavor that makes lobsters so desirable. At the port, lobsters are sorted by size and quality before being distributed to seafood markets, restaurants, and homes. In many places, lobster is a delicacy, and it's not uncommon to see fresh lobsters being sold live, where customers can choose their lobster before it's cooked. This ensures maximum freshness and a taste experience that many consider second to none. At seafood markets, lobsters are usually sold live, but some are also sold cooked or pre-packaged for convenience. The live lobster market is often the most popular because people believe that lobster meat tastes best when it's as fresh as possible. Lobsters have not only been an essential part of marine life, but they've also played an important role in human history and cuisine. For centuries, lobsters were not the luxurious food they are considered today. In fact, early European settlers in America often found lobsters so plentiful that they considered them a food of the poor. In colonial times, lobsters were so abundant that they were used as a food source for prisoners, indentured servants, and even cattle feed. However, as transportation improved and the demand for seafood grew, lobsters gradually became more popular among the wealthy. By the 19th century, lobster was considered a high-end food in New York and Boston, and this perception continues today. Fast forward to the 20th century, and lobsters became synonymous with fine dining, luxury, and gourmet cuisine, whether boiled, steamed, or served with butter. Lobster has been featured in countless iconic dishes, including lobster rolls, lobster bisque, and lobster thermidor. Today, lobster is often served in Michelin-starred restaurants, where chefs use creative methods to elevate this classic seafood into something truly exceptional. But lobster isn't just for the elite, it has become an integral part of seafood festivals and casual dining experiences across coastal regions. Lobster rolls in New England and lobster boils in the South have become iconic cultural experiences. Now comes the most exciting part of the lobster's journey, the kitchen. When it comes to preparing lobster, there are several techniques, each bringing out different flavors and textures. The most traditional method of cooking lobster is boiling. To boil a lobster, first, bring a large pot of salted water to a boil. Once the water is boiling, carefully drop the lobster into the pot, head first. Depending on the size of the lobster, it should cook for anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes. You'll know the lobster is cooked when its shell turns bright red and the meat inside is firm and opaque. Another popular method is steaming. Steaming lobster is often preferred by chefs, as it allows the lobster to retain more of its natural flavor. To steam lobster, fill a large pot with about 2 inches of water and bring it to a boil. Place the lobster in a steaming rack or basket above the water. Cover the pot and steam for about 10 to 12 minutes. For the ultimate indulgence, some prefer grilling lobster. Grilling adds a smoky flavor to the meat and creates a beautiful char. To prepare lobster for grilling, cut the lobster in half lengthwise and brush the meat with butter or olive oil. Grill the lobster halves for about 5 to 6 minutes per side until the meat is tender and slightly charred. Lobster can also be used in a wide variety of dishes, from rich lobster bisque to lobster mac and cheese, and of course, the famous lobster roll. A lobster roll is made by placing chunks of cooked lobster meat in a soft roll, often topped with mayonnaise or butter, and served with crispy fries. Lobster is not just a luxury food in North America, it's a global delicacy with a fascinating cultural history. From the icy waters of the North Atlantic to the warm, sun-kissed shores of the Mediterranean, lobsters have found their way onto tables around the world. Let's take a journey through different cultures and cuisines to explore how lobsters are enjoyed in diverse and mouth-watering ways. In New England, the lobster roll reigns supreme. Known as one of the most iconic American dishes, the lobster roll features sweet, tender lobster meat tucked inside a soft, buttered roll. It's simple, yet decadent. Served with a generous dollop of mayonnaise or drawn butter. Lobster rolls have become a staple along the northeastern coast of the United States, especially in Maine, where lobster is almost a way of life. You'll find long lines at local seafood shacks, where the humble lobster roll brings together locals and tourists alike for a shared love of fresh, delicious lobster. In France, lobster has long been associated with elegance and refined dining. Lobster bisque, a velvety rich soup made from lobster stock, cream, and often a splash of brandy or cognac, is a symbol of French culinary artistry. The dish was originally created as a way to use lobster shells, and over centuries, it has evolved into one of France's most celebrated dishes, served as a first course in upscale restaurants. Lobster bisque is a luxurious experience, with its delicate flavors and velvety texture tantalizing the taste buds. Crossing the Atlantic to Spain, lobster is often featured in traditional Mediterranean seafood dishes. In coastal regions like Catalonia, lobsters are grilled to perfection and served with fresh olive oil, garlic, and a squeeze of lemon. This method of cooking brings out the natural sweetness of the lobster, while adding a slight smoky char. Another popular Spanish dish is paella, a vibrant rice dish packed with seafood, including lobster, shrimp, and mussels. The combination of saffron, tomatoes, and seafood broth makes for a flavorful and aromatic celebration of the ocean's bounty. Traveling further south, in the Caribbean, lobster is often cooked with bold, spicy flavors. Caribbean lobster dishes typically feature a blend of fresh herbs, spices, and coconut milk. Lobster is either grilled or steamed, then served with rice, peas, and a tangy spicy sauce. The warmth of the islands infuses the lobster with a unique, tropical twist that highlights the bright, fresh flavors of the region. Even in Japan, where seafood is a central part of the culinary tradition, lobster has carved out its own special place. Lobster sashimi, often served in high-end sushi restaurants, allows diners to experience lobster in its purest form, raw and delicately sliced. The sweet, clean taste of the lobster meat, paired with wasabi and soy sauce, offers a completely different but equally luxurious dining experience. Let's not forget Canada, another country famous for its love of lobster. With its proximity to the North Atlantic, Canada has long been a major supplier of lobster to the world. In the maritime provinces of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, lobster is not just a food, it's an integral part of local culture. Whether it's simply boiled and served with melted butter or used in a rich lobster stew, Canadian lobster is celebrated with pride and passion. In Australia, lobster is often called Moreton Bay bug or rock lobster. Australian cuisine embraces a more laid-back approach to lobster, often grilling it on the barbecue or serving it chilled in salads. The combination of fresh seafood and the warm Australian climate makes for a perfect pairing, where lobster is enjoyed casually, accompanied by a cold drink, and shared with friends at a beachside picnic. From the deep, cold waters of the ocean to your dining table, lobsters are truly one of nature's treasures. Their journey from sea to plate is not only a culinary experience, but also a testament to the dedication of fishermen, chefs, and consumers who care about sustainability and quality. Whether you're savoring a lobster bisque, enjoying a classic lobster roll, or indulging in a grilled lobster tail, the story behind every lobster dish is a fascinating one. The next time you enjoy lobster, remember the journey it took to get to your plate, and appreciate the unique flavors that have made it a global delicacy. Thank you for joining us today on Delicacy TV. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the ocean and beyond, and continue exploring the wonderful world of marine life with us.